refugees on the road tell me that angels prey on Westmarch, laying waste and murdering thousands, and no one knows why. I have no love for this city, but I will not stand by while its people are slaughtered. These Reapers will learn that they are not the only killers in Westmarch.
The Nephilim. Tyrael sent me to find you. Malthael has taken the Black Soul Stone. You must come with me.
People are dying down in those streets. I cannot just abandon them.
But you and Tyrael need to form a plan. We must find Malthael.
Tell Tyrael I will meet him in Westmarch. Go!
It will be done. I swear it.
We're going to die!
She's coming to kill us all!
By the ancients, no! The gates! I must find a way into the city to stop this senseless slaughter.
Stop! Don't go out into the streets! It's the end of the world. So many have been killed and the Reapers are everywhere.
And there are no survivors.
General Torian was defending a group of refugees at the old Zakaroon Cathedral, but they're likely all dead by now.
Wait, you're the barbarian who saved Bastion's Keep. You'll save us too, won't you?
Yes, that is why I am here.
Keep moving. I think we lost her. No, no!
Those with demon blood must die.
Demon blood? Those were innocent people.
Defend the church! Repel these vile Reapers!
That creature must die.
Ah, we found you.
Tyrael, why is Malthael doing this?
Because he feeds on death. Every time his Reapers kill, he grows stronger. And with the prime evil gone, Malthael believes this is the perfect time to end the eternal conflict.
Humanity has nothing to do with that war.
But we are descended from demons and angels. When Malthael looks at us, he sees demons.
The church! All the refugees are inside! Follow me! Akarat's Bane! This is worse than I feared!
What is that?
A Death Maiden! Stop her!
Nephilim, your soul will be mine.
I will end this slaughter. Where is Malthael?
I know only that he is not in Westmarch. He could have taken the Black Soul Stone anywhere in creation.
But why does he want the stone? Is there any way to find out?
There may be. A sliver broke off when Malthael took the Soul Stone. Perhaps by studying that sliver, I can learn his plans.
Then you study the sliver, while I save this city from the Reapers.
We must do everything in our power to slow the Nephilim down, so that the collection of souls is not interrupted. It is the key to Malthael's victory.
Why have the Haradrim returned now?
Tyrael rebuilt the Order to help him take the Soul Stone from heaven, and to protect mankind. After all, you can't be everywhere at once, no matter how powerful you are.
Malthael, my brother. He was wisdom, leader of our council, first among angels. And now, he has become this.
What drove him to such madness?
After the destruction of the World Stone, Malthael's mood darkened, and he left the heavens frequently. Then he disappeared completely. He must have developed a connection, no, an obsession with human souls.
What matters now is stopping Malthael. Our souls are meant to join with the world, not to be eaten by death. Studying the sliver of the Black Soul Stone will show you what Malthael is planning.
The sliver is still connected to the Soul Stone. As the stone changes, the sliver will change too. Therefore, I can observe what Malthael is doing to the stone, and if we're lucky, even discover his plan.
General Torian, what was that Death Maiden doing in the cathedral?
She was creating an orb that turns the living into Malthael's death creatures. A single orb can transform hundreds of innocent people every hour, and my men report 2 more of them out in the city.
Soul crucibles. With 2 of them, Malthael has an endless supply of soldiers.
Then I will destroy these crucibles and cut off Malthael's supply of troops. Malthael's Reapers are people whose souls were taken by the crucibles?
Sadly, yes.
What of the Death Maidens?
Their story is as tragic as Malthael's. Once the vanguard of his wisdom angels, they followed him down the path to darkness.
Stay in good health.
At long last, a hero comes to save us. That won't bring my wife back, though, will it?
My library isn't far from here. I was closing everything up for the day when I heard the fighting in the streets. I barred the doors and then squeezed through the back window to escape. But I'll have to come up with something more exciting when I write my official account, won't I? You've heard the legend of the Tomb of Rakkus, haven't you? Its location has never been found. Most scholars think it's underneath Westmarch, but I suspect it's somewhere outside the city. Rakkus was a clever man, after all.
Westmarch originally grew from the efforts of the great General Rakkus to spread his religion beyond the realms of the East. Seized by the superstitions of the Zakarum faith, he drove his paladins relentlessly across the barbaric western lands, subduing the uncivilized tribes he found there. Ultimately, he became king of them all.
We stayed to fight, Robert and me, but he fell. And when they started to tear into him, I panicked. I ran.
There is no shame in your actions. There was nothing you could have done for him.
What's that noise?
Is there anything on your mind, Hadric?
Do you think Caldeum is under attack as well?
It must be.
At least they have the Iron Wolves. The Lord of Lies could not break them. The Angel of Death will not either.
I know who is responsible for this. It's the poor. They've summoned these monstrosities to take Westmarch for themselves.
Did you know there were once 2 moons? Lyria is the one that is no more. I think it's time I told you the whole story of Zai and his master, the god of desire, Durgist.
You mean you are ready to tell your version of the truth?
Durgist's jewel has appeared again, and the time for secrets is over.
So it is time to tell me if you are a god.
There was a great gem market here in Westmarch. I spend many a carefree day browsing the aisles to think that I will never again see all those happy little stalls, those rows of jewels, and those gem cutters.
You ask who's to blame for this doom? All of Westmarch, reveling in sin, worshipping petty idols. The Zakarum are gone, and the Order of Malthael now rises. Praise Malthael, and your souls may yet be saved. He spares only the faithful. Donate to the Order, and prove your conviction.
The city is dark and ruined, yet you look lovelier than ever. How do you manage it?
I stay focused. Oh, and I ignore flattery.
Well, that's a pity. Flattery is one of my specialties.
It is good to see you again, though it seems like we are only brought together in the worst of circumstances. But I suppose if times were better, we would never have met.
Cormac, you seem troubled.
For too long have I lived with the knowledge that my order tortures its initiates and twists their minds. I need to know how high this evil reaches. If my whole order is corrupt, what does it mean to be a Templar? What am I?
You are an honorable man who dedicated his life to something you believed meaningful.
But it wasn't, was it? The guilty will answer for their transgressions. I swear it.
For a moment, I heard one of my sister's voices. I could not make out the words.
Sometimes the dead visit me in my dreams. You and I share a similar burden.
My sisters are gone now, and I am the last memory of a world long since forgotten.
You do not know why your sisters died. That is why they stay with you.
Well, the world's under attack and people are dying everywhere. It must be time for us to go on another adventure, right?
Did you grab the jewelry at least?
Harold, those monsters were about to kill us.
Well, I would rather be dead than poor.
I can't believe we're still alive, and it's all thanks to you. I thought we would die in that foul-smelling place.
Why would the angels do this to us?
What are you saying? This is obviously a demon's work.
Duncraig is just death in horror. I thought I'd be safe here, but we've nowhere left to hide.
After years of my pleading, the Angiris Council has finally agreed to send me in search of Malthael. I will not fail in this, as my master's presence is sorely needed in the high heavens. Owing to Malthael's growing fascination with the humans, Tyrael has suggested I begin my search on Sanctuary.
Get away!
A foe worth killing. You cannot stand before me!
I did not find Malthael on Sanctuary, but I did find humans. Far too many of them. They murder and cheat one another while allowing their brothers to starve. If their true power is ever released, we are all doomed. They have a choice between good and evil, and they overwhelmingly choose evil.
That Death Maiden is controlling the Soul Crucible, but not for long.
You have called the darkness down upon yourself, mortal.
Thank you. I knew you would arrive in time to save me.
How could you know that?
I am Miriam Jazia, a seer of the Vetchin people. I foresaw our meeting, but I did not see this horror. I have come to help you. There is one crucible left, and if you destroy that, the maidens will not be able to create more. There is no time to waste. We must be on our way now. Malthael, he's watching you.
I grew disgusted by humanity during my time on Sanctuary. When at last I found Malthael, I was not surprised to learn that he felt the same way. We will cleanse creation of the scourge that is humankind, and when we are finished, the tragic mistake of Anarius will be gone.
You should get to the Survivors' Enclave. It is not safe out here.
Nonsense. You'll protect me. And after experiencing what those things do to people, let's just say I need to see you destroy the final crucible with my own eyes, if I am ever to sleep again. I see you have much guilt over Leah's fate.
How do you know of Leah?
I see the past as well as the future. You must not let it consume you. You shouldn't be so dour. You have much to be joyful about.
Do not mock me.
I have learned that in terrible situations it is better to laugh than to cry. Perhaps when you have lost as much as I, you will understand.
That creature must die.
You are such the artist when it comes to dispatching Death's minions. Don't mind me. I'll just be waiting over here.
What was that?
That would be Urzael.
Urzael?
Urzael is the angel who commands Malthael's forces in this city. I think you made him angry.
Good. Let us get to the Enclave. I need to see if Tyrael has made any progress. I am returning to town. Who is this?
I'm Bryson. I was trapped in a cellar until Hadrig rescued me.
Ha! And now he won't go away.
You did save his life. He must be grateful.
I am. In fact, I'm going to repay Hadrig by helping him.
And I told you to stay away from my forge.
My mother warned me about the poor. They want my wealth, but they don't want to work for it. And now they've created an army of death creatures. Well, when I'm king, I'll just show them.
I grew up over by the docks. Not the good part of town, but it's what my parents could afford. They died when the plague swept through a few years ago, within hours of each other. Like they had to stay together. I used to hate them for leaving me, but now it's a relief they didn't have to see all this happen.
Oh, I can't believe it. My best hammer's gone missing. It couldn't have walked off on its own now, could it, lad?
One of the men needed a hammer. He promised to return it.
Fool boy! I'll never see it again!
I'm sorry, Hadrig.
Get out of my sight.
I don't feel like talking right now.
Why fight so hard? Thousands are dead. What do another dozen matter?
If you hadn't come along when you did, I don't know what might have happened.
It was the least I could do. Anyone would have done the same.
But you didn't have to help. You could have run right by.
After Corellan's death, the crown passed to Justinian I, through a somewhat convoluted interpretation of Zakharum's scripture. Thus began the Justinian dynasty. Seen as usurpers by many, the Justinians suffered nearly constant challenges to their rule. Finally, during the reign of Justinian III, a full-fledged insurrection broke out in the outlying region of Carthage.
We're not going to die, are we? Tell me we're not going to die. I don't want to lose my soul!
Those who perish without embracing Malthael are eternally damned. But I can commune with our Lord, asking him to grant them a reprieve. Only a simple payment
is required.
Bless my poor husband, please!
You must save my children!
Please, my friends, one at a time. Bring your offerings to the stand, and I will grant your loved ones this blessing.
I was telling you about Lyria, wasn't I? Oh, she was so beautiful that Durgus was determined to make her his own. Oh, yes, he pursued her relentlessly, showering her with gifts and attention until she succumbed and agreed to become his wife. But Durgus' jealousy was so great, he hid Lyria high in the heavens, far away from the reach of men and gods.
Yes. The jealous man finds it hard to make room for anything else in his life.
Yes, that was Durgus. Desire was his very nature. Zai was the greatest thief, and he wanted Lyria. He waited patiently for a night when Lyria's path hid her behind the silver moon. For when the sun set, Durgus had to leave Lyria's side, you see, for desire rules the night. He could only watch from below as she drifted across the ocean of stars. Then Zai climbed, silent as a whisper, into Lyria's palace in the heavens.
Did Zai love her?
No, but stealing from Durgus would make Zai a legend.
Could it be that the Prophet abandoned us? Why else would his magic fail to protect us while we slept?
The Prophet's magic worked. It kept you safe.
But my sisters died. Why them and not me?
When we leave companions behind, we carry their burdens forward. Leah, Cain, I carry on for them.
I cannot simply feel sorry for myself. I must discover the truth. When I left my sister Lysa, I took her magic focus as a reminder. I scryed it today to see if it held any clues, and I found strong traces of the demonic magic that killed her. It reminded me of the Viserai's magic from before we served the Prophet.
Those Viserai died hundreds of years ago. The mages of today would not be seeking revenge.
When I cast the magic upon her focus, I heard her voice again, and this time, I understood. She said one word. Irena.
I have heard that the Grand Maester himself is in Westmarch. It is imperative that I find and speak to him. I will tell him of the sins his order is committing.
Cormac, he is the leader of the Templar. The Order most likely acts at his command.
No, you are wrong. My first memories of being a Templar are of him comforting me, welcoming me to the Brotherhood. I looked into his eyes. He is a good man, I tell you.
There's no easy way to say this, but I have to leave, and I won't be returning.
Do what you must.
I'm serious. My brother's imprisoned in Kingsport with no way to defend himself, and I must free him.
You will not make it to Kingsport if Westmarch is overrun.
All right. I'll stay for as long as I can, but only because I know how much you need me. It's time for me to go. My brother will die in the Kingsport dungeons if I don't act now.
A Kingsport prisoner, you say? Those poor devils were all transported to our cells in Westmarch last week. But we haven't heard from the garrison since the attack started.
Edlin, I have to find him. Will you help me, my friend? Right then, this is where they're holding Edlin. Let me do the talking.
Looking for your brother, Lyndon?
Wait, this is not right.
Damn it all!
The Thieves Guild always finds who it's looking for.
The Thieves Guild infiltrated the entire dungeon?
No one betrays the Thieves Guild and lives to tell of it!
He's here somewhere.
You died for what you did to Nigel!
Edmund! He's...
I am sorry, my friend.
I never should have joined the guild. He told me, but I wouldn't listen.
His death is not your fault. He was slain before we came to Westmarch.
That dagger looks very familiar.
Take it with you. I know it is hard, but we must leave. You cannot blame yourself for what happened, Lyndon.
What do you want me to say? That I wish he'd never known me? That I wish he'd had a brother who didn't fail him?
That you are struggling with grief.
And I suppose the mightiest hero in all the land knows just how to help, eh? No. No, this is something you can't understand.
Today is the day I find out how deep the Order's corruption runs.
You must do whatever you can to set things right, Cormac.
I will do it, even if it means going against my entire Order. I could use a good friend by my side. This is one of our strongholds. I will have my answers soon.
This could go badly. You must be ready for anything.
Cormac! Everyone says you helped slay Asmodan and Belial. They're calling you the greatest of all the Templar.
It's good to see you as well, brother. But I come with troubling news about the Order. I must speak with the Grand Maester.
You're in luck. He's here. Standing orders are to send you to him upon your return. Take this, the Grand Maester's new proclamation.
You've done us all proud.
This proclamation from the Maester, it's damning. He admits his own guilt. How could I have not seen this?
The day of reckoning is at hand. We will rise from the ashes of Westmarch and lead mankind into the light. We shall have recruits by the thousands. Every citizen will be another Templar added to the cause. Once cleansed by the Inquisitors, they will become an unstoppable force.
We know you had nothing to do with Jondar's corruption, Cormac. You're a hero. Our time has finally come, and we owe it all to you.
Bring me that whip. It is time to purify this initiate.
Stop! How can you do this to your fellow Templar?
We bless them with the truth, as we did for you, Cormac. But if the greatest of all Templar wishes them freed, it shall be so. We've been ordered to take you to the Grand Maester as soon as possible. Follow me.
Cormac, the shining example of a true Templar. We have much to talk about.
Yes, we do, Grand Maester. You have betrayed us all, starting with the torment of our initiation.
It was brutal but necessary. I did the hard things no one else would, for the ascension of humanity. I carry the weight of my actions with me always. Are you ready to make a similar sacrifice, Cormac? Will you stand with me and become Meister in due time? I need you.
But... No! Your power has driven you to madness if you think I would help you rule over mankind!
This saddens me greatly, my son. I am sorry. Kill him. Man is a flawed being. Time and again we have seen good men given to temptation. Though it is painful, I have found only one answer. We must cleanse the minds of our recruits, so they will never fall prey to the corruption of the demons, or the blind self-righteousness of the angels. You brought this on yourself, Cormac.
I dedicated my life to a lie. Everything I thought I knew, it was all in the service of a madman. I swear that every Templar I meet will be freed from the lies of the Order. And if they refuse, I will be forced to convince them. The Grand Maester, behind the Order's corruption. Deep down, I think I always knew. Perhaps that's why I never felt worthy of the Order, as if I was not a true Templar.
Your beliefs were hollow. The ideas that were beaten into your mind could never reach your heart. So what will you do with your life now? What will you believe in?
I believe in you and your quest. This world must be saved, regardless of the corruption of the Templar.
Is this truly the work of angels? I don't understand. How could they?
Sadly, it is true. One of the angels has gone mad. I am going to put him and his followers down like the dogs they are.
Good.
You are a quiet sort, Serena. Sneak back home and fetch some of our savings.
But the streets are crawling with those horrid creatures.
That's precisely why you must go, dearest. Nobody notices you.
And now I hear those Reapers are taking people's souls? This is madness!
Can I ask you about Deckard Cain?
He was a great man. He deserved a better death. Had he lived, many things might have been different.
Could one man make such a difference?
Now is not the time to speak of this. We have a city to save.
Tyrael told me of your actions. You killed Diablo himself.
It had to be done.
I don't know that the world will ever understand what it took to face such pure evil.
It is enough that I was able to stop the prime evil. The rest does not matter.
My father was the commander of the Knights of Westmarch. He assumed I would become a soldier, just like him.
Did you not want to be a soldier?
I grew up on stories of the fearless Horadrim, Tal Rasha, Jared Cain. That was what I wanted to be. My father thought it was all myth,
Wasn't he surprised when I actually became one of them?
How have you been able to hold out this long against the Reapers?
It has been a brutal task. A lot of good men sacrificed themselves to save us. But even that wasn't enough. If you hadn't shown up when you did, we might already be dead.
Why haven't you sent for reinforcements from other cities? Bramwell, Kingsport.
Have you not heard? Cities everywhere are under attack. No place is safe.
Yes, Malthael strikes all across Sanctuary.
I did not know. That is grim news.
Death comes to all.
Look, the sliver is changing. Malthael is doing something to the Black Soul Stone.
Exactly. He's been gathering strength from the souls of Westmarch in order to alter the stone. Yet his purpose still eludes me.
He's killing everyone. What more do you need to know?
We cannot stop him unless we know what he is planning to do next.
Urzael has done this to finish collecting the souls of Westmarch.
Urzael. It is time for him to die. Where is he?
All I know is that he is in a tower somewhere in the Westmarch Heights, and that he will be quite rude to you. Before you set out to kill him, you should stop by my cart. I can enchant some items for you.
What do you know of Urzael?
He is Malthael's lieutenant, much the same way that Iswal was mine. He does his master's bidding without question.
Why didn't Malthael kill you in the tomb of Rakkus and take your soul?
I may be mortal, but I am not Nephilim. I have no demon blood in me, and therefore Malthael does not see me as his enemy.
And we are? We killed the Lords of Hell.
That is of no consequence. You are half demon to him and therefore on the wrong side of the eternal conflict.
Tyrael, you are still in pain.
I have felt pain before, but nothing like this. It is different being mortal. The pain wears on you.
It is something a true warrior learns to bear. Do you have any idea why Malthael would want the Black Soul Stone?
I have been thinking on that since our encounter, but every scenario I envision simply doesn't make sense, regardless of what he has become.
He must have a plan, even if we do not know what it is. Why didn't Tyrael just destroy the Black Soul Stone?
The Black Soul Stone was made by a man, unlike previous Soul Stones. We had no idea what would happen if we destroyed it. It seemed a better idea to hide it away forever. We had no way of knowing that Malthael was watching us the entire time. How could we?
And if we get it back from Malthael, we will just hide it again?
I don't know. But it's better for us to have the stone than Malthael. If we make it that far, we'll worry about what to do next.
What can you tell me about Urzael?
Well, he seems to have an affinity for fire. I'd watch out for that if I were you.
Of course. But can you tell me anything else?
Urzael was sent to find Malthael by our friend Tyrael. He blames himself for what Urzael has become. Sheldo, how sweet of you to ask. My people, the Vetchin, are nomads, always traveling, looking for the land we might settle. All of us have the sight, but few have it as strong as myself. You know, men have always pursued me for my visions. Well, for things other than my visions. But everyone wants to know what the future holds.
My future holds death for those who seek to do this world harm.
Always with the fighting and the battle cries. Can't you stop and enjoy the warmth of a good woman? What else can I tell you? I had a vision of death blanketing our world. So I left my people, my family, to come help you.
That is quite the sacrifice.
Nonsense. We veteran often receive visions telling us when it is time to find a new family. I've had many in my life. I still love and miss each and every one of them. Except for Jonah. I never really liked that one.
A foe worth killing. I will not be denied.
Help! Help! These monsters have trapped me in here!
Thank you. Had I remained in that inferno any longer, I surely would have died.
You wilt against my blows.
My master has begun his work on the stone. Nothing that you do matters. Soon, demons spawn like you will be gone forever.
You will kill no more of my people. I swear it.
The demon spawn shall perish in flames.
I am returning to town.
Quite unlike me to fall apart like that. I can't imagine what came over me. Let's keep this between ourselves, eh?
I wonder if we could sell wigs made from your hair.
That is enough, Harold! If we survive this nightmare, I am leaving for my parents' estate in Bramwell.
That's a grand idea, dearest. Your father has more than enough money to...
Follow me, and I will tie you naked to a tree for the crows. Maybe then you'll finally think of something other than money.
You killed the angel who was responsible for this horror.
Yes, but his master is the true evil. He still lives, but I mean to fix that. I will make sure this never happens again.
I believe you.
You have had an interesting life.
Oh, I could tell you stories. Our wagon train came to a dying village once. The people threw rocks and jeered. There was only one poor family who welcomed us. I charmed my way into the mayor's office and told him that his village would soon be wealthier than he could imagine. He threw me out. He thought I was trying to rob him. Well, my vision showed me where the gold deposits were, but not who would find them. So I told the family who had shown us kindness where to dig. They are quite wealthy now.
Now that Urzael is dead, I'm going to Bramwell to find my son.
It is still not safe out there.
I don't care.
Thanks to you, I can finally bury my wife in peace.
You really must stop thanking me. It was nothing.
A dozen people ran by me and did nothing. You're a hero.
Just in the right place at the right time, I suppose.
This disaster will make for great reading someday, provided that anyone survives to chronicle it.
Urzael is dead. His reapers should be easy prey now.
You have saved Westmarch, my friend.
But we still do not know why Malthael wants the stone, and he grows stronger by the moment. We are running out of time.
That strange woman you brought here believes she can help. She insisted on speaking with you immediately. Urzael is slain. Westmarch is saved. And yet these thoughts weigh constantly upon me.
There will be trials ahead, but we must enjoy victory when it comes.
Wise words, my friend. Angels are cursed with a wider perspective of events. To live in the moment is a part of mortal existence I must learn to embrace.
How fortunate I am to have met the savior of Westmarch. You simply must let me ask you some questions when your work is done. Rackus conquered all of Honduras before founding Westmarch. Repelling this invasion would be child's play for him.
Tira's newly established rule over Westmarch did nothing to quell the civil war, which continued until she was driven mad and eventually killed by the plague. Cornelius, grandson of Justinian III and slave to the Zakharum faith, used this opening to crush the rebels once and for all and become the new king.
Bryson meant well, you know.
He's a fool, and fools end up dead around here.
Ah, so that is why you do not want him around.
What are you talking about?
You have already lost too many. Your father, your wife, even your apprentice.
You keep that nonsense to yourself, or I might forget how much I owe you.
I heard Liza's voice again, and I could make out more of what she was saying. She is calling out for me, but it sounds as though the voice is speaking to me from far away, from beyond our world.
How can that be? You saw that she was dead.
Now I am not sure. What I do know is that she is out there, and she needs me.
Cheldo, I know how to find Malthael, but you will not like what I have to tell you.
Tell me.
There is only one person who knows how to find Malthael. She waits for you in the Blood Marsh, and you know her well. Adria.
Adria.
Adria is not as you remember her. She is channeling blood magic to prepare herself to retrieve the Black Soul Stone.
What exactly does that mean?
Some things cannot be explained. You must see them for yourself.
Why do I talk to you?
You have no sense of adventure.
I thought the angels were on our side. They should be here helping us.
There is confusion and dissension in the high heavens. You must remember, Malthael was our leader once.
You are on the Angiris Council. You can command the angelic host.
Imperius commands the host, and he will not unleash them on a fellow angel, especially a former member of the Angiris Council.
You can tell Imperius that I will remember he did nothing while my people died.
You're not going anywhere without me.
Why?
Someone has to make sure you don't kill Adria before you find out where Malthael is.
You can come if you want, but Adria will still pay for her betrayal. I have vanquished Urzael and his Reapers, giving the people of Westmarch their city back. Lorath and I go to the Blood Marsh to find Adria. She knows how to locate Malthael. She will tell me, and then she will pay in blood for her betrayal.
We hid the Black Soul Stone in the deepest part of the Nephilim ruins near here. We thought it would be safe, but Malthael found it all the same. This is the entrance to the tomb, but someone's collapsed it.
Adria.
It looks like we'll have to find another way into the ruins. What was that? This was just one entrance to the city. There are guide stones littered across the Blood Marsh that will lead us to the main one. The guide stones are useless to most, but will reveal the correct path to a Nephilim such as yourself.
You cannot run, Adria.
Remember to get the information we need before you...
I know.
Well, that's not very reassuring. This is one of the guide stones, but nothing happens when I approach it.
Let me try.
There are 4 entrances to the Nephilim city, each one etched with a sigil. Only the correct one marks the true entrance to the tomb, however. When you activate these stones, one of the wrong sigils disappears.
I need another guide stone to figure out which of the sigils is the correct one. I do not know if this is the right passage. Now I know which of the sigils marks the correct passage. A foe worth killing.
Do you think Adria feels any remorse for what she did to Leah?
Your flesh is weak.
Lorath, this is as far as you go. Catch up to me when it is done.
You're going to kill her, aren't you?
I will do what is right.
We are all counting on you.
I have uncovered an obscure and ancient tome in whose pages is recorded an impossible tale. The secret history of a race called the Nephilim, gods by another name, and their ruined civilization in the West. If this is true, how could all signs of these Nephilim be lost, but for the record of this single tome? The Nephilim were not gods, but our own ancestors, gifted with long life, magic, and abilities far beyond ours. Yet they were still men. I wonder if these pages hold the key to unlock their powers once again.
You cannot stand before me!
ancients smile on me. Volcathos, guide my hand. That creature must die.
I was separated from the other soldiers and surrounded by the dead when I saw him. I gazed into the face of death himself. I couldn't move. I just stared as he passed through me. His touch was like ice, so cold. But something in me changed. Something I cannot understand.
Where are you going? I have some good news.
Good news?
I mentioned what you did to some guards I met. You could get a commendation or something when this is all over.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Let's see where you've been hiding, Malthael.
Adria.
The angels will never suffer us to live. They cannot accept the fact that we may choose our own path. At least demons are not so rigid in their beliefs.
We will choose our own destiny, free from the eternal conflict. But you will not have that choice.
Diablo sent me a vision. He had returned, and you were the one who freed him.
Never.
He always finds a way. My master will return.
And yet you will die alone.
Diablo will return. I have done what I can to ensure it. He always finds a way. In your heart of hearts, you know this.
Before she died, Adria conjured an image of pandemonium.
She was searching for Malthael, so he must be there.
I am returning to town.
See? Aren't you happy I didn't tell you beforehand that Adria would turn into a hideous monster?
Why would that possibly make me happy?
You're so much more effective when you're stewing in blind rage, thirsting for revenge. We wouldn't want you to peak too early. Petty details would have just served to distract you.
Now we know. Malthael is in Pandemonium.
No doubt he has gone to the fortress. Malthael can hold out there until the end of time. He is forcing us to come to him.
He is a coward, hiding until he has enough power to confront me.
The only way to Pandemonium is through the high heavens. Let us leave at once.
Lara! Peter!
Are you looking for somebody?
Oh, it's my children. They're out playing a game, but I'll find them soon enough.
I now know death better than I know the shape of my hand or my own sword. Hendel charged into battle at my side. I'd known him since I enlisted, but when I looked at him that night, I had a vision. I saw the faces of the men he had killed, and I saw that he would not live to see the morning.
According to the records, King Rackus had a strong jaw, hair as black as night, and wore gleaming armor over his muscular... Sorry, what was I talking about? Every time Westmarch is invaded, a hero appears to save it. History is much easier to write with a strong protagonist. Rackus and his sons built much of Westmarch during their time. The ruins and the marshes outside the city may be their work too. Of course, whenever I ask the Crown for gold to further my excavations, there's always a more pressing matter at hand. We can't start to rebuild until we know that the one who caused this devastation is dead.
I am still searching for him. I swear to you, he will pay.
I hope so.
When I was forced to admit my beliefs were wrong, I was lost. I was afraid I would always feel that way. But instead, a sense of calmness has come over me. I'm no longer at war with myself.
Your strict vows were shackles, holding you down. You are now a free man, Cormac.
So, now it's on to Pandemonium? You'll see a world only a few humans have laid eyes on before.
I have already seen heaven. It did not impress me.
Ah, the beauty of life is lost on you, isn't it?
What is this?
Destroy the gate! The Nephilim is here!
He dares to attack us. Malthael is my brother. I fought 1,000 battles by his side, and I care not that he seeks to destroy you and your kind. But my brother has grown sick, and he must be put down for his own sake. Yet I have not the heart to do this. And so it falls to you. Come, Nephilim, to Pandemonium.
Malthael tried to stop me from entering Pandemonium, but nothing will keep me from him. Now I will cross these battlefields, where angels and demons once fought. I must find the Pandemonium Fortress, where the Angel of Death waits for me. I will show him what death means.
There is a siege camp not far from here. Meet me there, and I will show you what must be done. We do not have the luxury of time. Demons, the remnants of a long-forgotten battle. That is a siege room. Bring it with you. Do you see the battering ram below? That is the only way you can breach the fortress gates. But it is useless without the siege rooms that power it. You have one in your possession, but there are two more. You will find them on the battlefield below, imprisoned along with the demons that carried them. Once you have the rooms, go to the ram. But know this, Nephilim. Even if you release Malthael from his madness, I will not thank you for it.
I do not want your thanks.
This will be a good battle. You cannot stand before me!
The ram is here, but I must finish collecting the siege runes first.
Get away from the ram!
I bear grave news, my friend. The Sliver has revealed Malthael's plan to me, and it is worse than I could have imagined. He means to use the Black Soul Stone to capture all demonic essences, even those that linger in human hearts. If the stone is altered to rip the demonic essence out of every man, woman, and child on Sanctuary, they will all die.
We can still stop him. We need to attack the fortress.
Malthael is fundamentally altering the Black Soul Stone. It will now pull in all the demonic essence from whatever plane of existence it finds itself in. But mankind is born of angel and demon alike. Every mortal, save myself, has demonic essence as an intrinsic part of their being. Losing that will rip their body and soul apart. I never thought I would return here. Pandemonium was our battlefield for ages on end. Demons' blood saturated this ground. Many angels died defending it.
Why fight for this place?
Our battles revolved around the World Stone. I had the Pandemonium Fortress built in order to protect it.
Malthael was one of your brethren. Why did you not search for him when he left the heavens?
Malthael kept to himself much of the time, and he was known to leave without warning. Eventually, the Council became concerned. We sent his closest followers to find him. Most of them did not return.
Urzel, the Maidens, they found Malthael here and continued to serve him.
It seems so.
You built the Pandemonium Fortress.
Not on my own, but it was my idea, yes. The angels raised it around the World Stone many eons ago.
Then you must know a way in.
I fear not. The fortress is always changing, caught between the forces of heaven and hell. Shatter the hooks! Attack the hooks! Destroy those hooks! We can't move until they're gone. One more hit, and it will fall.
It is done.
Pandemonium Fortress. When I fought Malthael, my sword passed through him like air. He is in a state of death and life, impervious to physical harm. Your strength is not enough. To defeat him, you must channel the power of death, as he does.
Look at the spirits gathered below. Could they be the key?
The power of the dead. If you could become one with it, you would be as Malthael is, and you could face him. But you must find a way, quickly. Every moment, thousands die, and Malthael's power grows beyond anything I have ever seen. The fortress feels strange and new to me, though I have come here times beyond count as its champion and as its liberator. It changes to match the nature of whoever controls it, but I have never seen it like this while under the control of an angel.
It is Malthael. This place is as warped as his mind.
A barbarian come to walk these halls.
I feel a kinship to that spirit. One of my tribe, perhaps an ancestor. Spirits, give me your aid. I need the power of death to defeat him.
I am the Guardian, speaker for the spirits of your ancestors. I see in you your great deeds and the destiny you have yet to fulfill.
Join with me, and with the power of your spirits, Malthael will no longer be able to hide behind the veil of death.
Our spirits are bound by Malthael's magic. I have only enough strength to open the path for you. Deep in the fortress we are imprisoned. Free us, and we will join with you. All barbarians are sworn to protect the Holy Mountain. But in death, we are freed from that duty and pass beyond. For some, even death is not enough to end our vigil. I chose to bind my spirit to the mountain, to protect it. When it was destroyed, I died again.
You call yourself the Guardian, but what is your real name? Were you one of the ancients?
You would know my name well, but that is a memory that means nothing to me now. I am but one of thousands of spirits drawn here by Malthael. There are heroes and great warriors amongst us. We will not surrender to Malthael. We will fight. No living soul can harm Malthael, for he is shrouded by the veil of the dead. Only those who have traveled beyond can pierce that veil. We will give our power to you. Then you will be able to strike Malthael. But victory remains your task alone.
The Black Soulstone journeys through the portal to Sanctuary. Even now it spreads death across your world. And so ends the eternal conflict. They call me a hero. I slew demons beyond count. I won battles and broke sieges, but it availed me nothing. I know that this war can have no victor, only an eternity of revenge, pride, and hatred. Tyrael does not understand. He cannot see beyond the glory of battle. In time he may, but that day is not yet here.
A foe worth killing.
There must be others who seek a way out of the endless strife. Angels and demons who feel enslaved by our fate. I cannot be unique in all of creation. I know my path. I will find those disillusioned of the war and lead them.
The ancients smile on me.
Death now resides in your heart. From the destruction of our people to all those you have killed in righteous battle. Even your own end yet to come. Now you have the chance to defeat Malthael, to free us all from our suffering under his yoke. Our vigil ends, brother. It falls to you to see that all vigils do not. The end of my vigil draws near, but I can rest knowing that in you, our people have found a new champion. If you are victorious, I will pass beyond and see my family once again. They have waited a very long time. At last, the suffering will have ended. We will all be free.
What does it feel like to die?
It is impossible for me to explain.
There must be something you can tell me.
Could you describe how it felt to be birthed? It is the same with dying.
My father is content to fight the same battles and the same foes while everything turns to ashes. Though his victories might last a day, or a year, or 100 years, the war will never be won so long as he and his brothers lead. There is an end to it, but fools like my father are too blind to see it.
I was struck down in the third charge. I lay upon the ground, only to wake in chains. I did not know that demons took prisoners. I babbled like a fool about my dreams of escaping this war. My captor freed me and said that we would meet again. Her name was Lilith, daughter of Mephisto.
I took a prisoner in the battle, an angel whose light was dimming. I brought him to my lair for my amusement, but he surprised me. My touch seemed to breathe life into him. He raved like a madman about how he wished to escape the war. Perhaps I have found someone I can use.
Sound and did not know what it was. I sought wisdom in the chalice, but there was none. The sounds called to me, and I knew them. Human souls. But where? Myself to Sanctuary, where humans dwell, but the souls did not call me from that place. I searched the breath of creation, always following the sound. Always the sound. And then I understood. Pandemonium, where the world stone once rested. The souls swirl and writhe. I now know the truth of mortals. All paths lead to death. Whatever their struggles, whatever their triumphs, they die. That is wisdom. The souls of man show their potential for greatness. They can stand for good like any angel in heaven, or they can enact evil worthy of the lowest demon of hell. The power of such a choice should not rest in the hearts of beings who are here for an instant, then flare and die. The Soul Stone is a born sanctuary. The blood of demons will soon be gone from all creation. You will be the last of your kind for a few moments. Death comes, Nephilim. Inevitable.
I am returning to town.
I thought on what you said, and you may have been right. Can't bear the thought of another friend's death.
Then you must bear the burden of a lonely life. And it is just as heavy, Hadric.
I suppose so. This is the wrong hammer, lad. I need the big one.
Right, sorry.
And you, my friend, not a word out of you. Not a single word.
I just wanted to tell Bryson how well he is doing.
You're going to distract my apprentice when he has all this work on his hands? Not on my watch. Now, lad, where's that hammer?
I'm telling you, Lyria was so lonely, and Zai was so alive and full of life. They shared one perfect night, and after she emerged, blushing. Dirges raced to her side, but Zai was gone. The ruby around Lyria's neck was the only sign that he had ever been there.
Did Zai feel any remorse?
No, not then. He felt pride. Oh, Dirges was possessed by an all-consuming rage. As Zai had stolen what was most valuable to Dirges, he would take from Zai all that he held dear.
I would have killed him.
Dirges took something much more dear than Zai's life. His joy. He killed everyone Zai had loved and held dear. Oh, then he slew Lyria. Her light went out from the heavens. The seas wept, and the waves of their tears crashed upon the shore. In the end, Zai trapped Dirges in the ruby Lyria had worn. Zai kept the stone around his neck as a reminder. In time, though, the burden grew too great to bear, and he cast off the stone. His divinity? Everything. Where there once stood a young god, there was now just an old man.
An old man, eh?
So the story says.
Papa!
Despite all of this, I find myself with hope for the future.
And could that hope have anything to do with Irena?
No! No, of course not. I mean, I do find her company stimulating. Yeah, I do enjoy her unique way of looking at things, but, I mean, no.
Perhaps you should talk to her about how you have left your vows behind.
What? Well, you know. I mean, she is quite interesting. So, yeah, I suppose so. Perhaps I should. Maybe. You, mentioned that I should speak with Irena. I don't think I can do that.
Well, if you do not, I am sure Lyndon will.
What? That cad? Oh, she's already seen right through his lecherous ways. Surely he'd have no luck. Would he?
One can never know. I do not think you should give him the chance. You are a brave man, Cormac. I am sure you can do this. Go talk to her.
Irena? I, was... Never mind. It was of no importance.
Cormac?
Yes. Well, Irena, I just wish to inform you that, I've left the Order. I'm no longer a Templar, nor bound by their rules.
What are you saying?
I would like it if... I mean, when this is over, would you consider, adventuring at my side?
Of course I would. I would be honored to fight alongside you. I feel as close to you as I did to my sisters.
Oh. Yes, of course. Sisters. Indeed.
I now know that the call is coming from the realm of Pandemonium.
We could barely reach Pandemonium. How could your sister Lysa?
The prophet was a seraph. He may have hidden in Pandemonium to keep his affairs secret from the Angiris Council.
You think he summoned her?
I saw her broken body, but the prophet's magic is powerful. He once saved us all. He could have saved Lysa again. Accompany me to Pandemonium. We will find where Lysa's voice is coming from, and perhaps I will uncover the answers I seek. I followed her voice to this place. I can hear her so clearly. We must find her.
I do not hear anything, but I suppose I should be used to that.
Is that? Cannot be. Sybil?
It was to be a dreamless sleep, but the blackness faded, and dreams I had. Dreams that became nightmares I could not wake from.
Sybil, I am here now. Demons!
You were always the strongest, Arena. Make us proud.
No! Do not go! What is that?
The prophet said I would not dream, but I did. At first, they were dreams of color, unsettling. And then I began to hear voices. They called for me, over and over. And then I woke.
Melena! The demons surround Lysa. You must find her, Irena. Lysa, where is she? More demons. Where are they coming from? It is good to see you, Irena. I thought I would never gaze upon your face again. Do not go. I have questions. Something holds the spirits of my sisters here. Whatever it is will lead us to Lysa.
We trained, believing that we would fight together. But Irena was the one who was chosen. And we were the ones who must sacrifice to support her. Why her and not me? A selfish question, for I know that if she was asked, she would say yes. So I did.
Reza! It is you!
When we woke, the demons were in our midst. We were not ready. But you slept, Arena. Why?
I would have woken Reza. You must believe me. Are these the demons that killed my sisters?
You must find Lysa. It is not too late.
Farewell, my sister. This portal will lead us to Lysa.
The Prophet asked each of us in turn before he cast the spell of binding. Our lives for hers. If we declined, we could leave without any thought of shame. We each heard the question and answered the only way we could. Our cause was too important to not make that sacrifice.
Familiar to me. Lysa! I knew I heard your voice.
Why did we have to give our lives for you, Irena? What was so special about you? Chosen of the Prophet. Your sisters were willing to sacrifice their lives for you, just as the Prophet intended. But I would not play along. It merely took time for me to find a way out.
I never knew, Lysa. The Prophet never told me.
Irena, know that you possess the greatest potential of all your sisters, and so I chose you. They gave their lives so that you could survive and fight in the most important battle to come. They did this willingly, and their sacrifice is not a burden, but a gift to you.
But what do I do?
Live. Fulfill the destiny for which I trained you, and for which your sisters died.
I always thought that Lysa was as strong as any of us, perhaps even the strongest. But she decided that the sacrifice asked of her was too great. How can I blame her? In her place, I might have made the same choice.
The greatest good sometimes requires the greatest sacrifice.
But is this not proof? If the price is too costly, goodness is not enough. Perhaps there is a better way. The Prophet knew one truth. Evil cannot be destroyed forever. In time, it rises anew and stronger.
With the passage of time, everyone forgets, and evil returns.
Yes, and that is why I must carry on his mission. But I will not demand the sacrifice that was asked of my sisters. I and those who follow me will not sleep. We will pass on our task from generation to generation, ever vigilant and ready.
So you will be the new prophet.
Who can say what the future holds?
Leave me alone. I'm getting drunk, and no, I'm not sharing.
You need to find out who killed your brother. Ask Hadrig about the dagger.
Give it a rest! The bloody Thieves Guild killed him.
You are not interested in the truth, then?
No. I am, however, interested in drinking.
Linden left a dagger here earlier. I'm guessing you're behind that.
Yes. I was hoping you could tell me more about it.
Let me look. It's well crafted for a Kingsport blade, and oh, the hilt seems to be hollow. Someone hid a note inside. Here, you should take it to Linden.
Hadrig found this note inside the dagger.
Linden, I killed him. Come after me if you must. I'll be waiting. Rhea, my brother's wife.
The woman you love. Why would she do this?
I don't want to talk about her. Not until this matter is settled. And I know you and I will see it done.
If you see my children, please tell them to stop playing games and come home. Supper is almost ready.
I am sure your children are on their way.
I know I'm of use here in Westmarch, helping the people recover and keeping order. Each must serve in his own way, but I would love to come help with the fight in Pandemonium, if needed. When this is over, Tyrael will need to replace those who fell in the Tomb of Rakis, and he'll continue to train and expand the Order of New Horadrim. With everything I've been through at your side, I think I can contribute to that effort. The people of Westmarch are starting to rebuild the city and bury their dead. Their strength is an inspiration. But there are children that witnessed their family being torn apart. Others climbed over piles of corpses to get to safety. What will they make of the world when they grow up? The city has scars that will linger for generations. Deckard Cain wrote much about the Pandemonium Fortress. He kept meticulous notes, drew sketches, and even made some maps. But nothing matches what is there now. The fortress has changed so much since Malthael took over.
Finally found you, Lieutenant Derek. Will you come quietly, or are you going to run again?
I'll go with you. I'm no coward.
That's not how I see it.
Leave him be. He is a good man, and he saved my life.
He let good men die. He's a deserter and a criminal, and he'll be dead in the morning.
I'm at peace. Perhaps the one good thing I did by saving your life can make up for the bad I've done.
You are a good man. Remember that.
My visions cloud everything. I can find no escape. I plan to leave Westmarch, to be alone, far away from the constancy of death. Some people would call it a curse, and sometimes it feels that way. But perhaps it's not. I need time to know for sure.
I've never learned precisely why Rakis chose to found his kingdom here. He must have had an important reason, right? I'm not complaining, but your roguish friend over there seems to think he can win my favor.
Lyndon, ignore him.
Please tell the other gentleman you travel with, the armored one, that he's much more to my tastes. I've heard that you're journeying to a faraway land now. You won't forget to tell me about any discoveries you make there, will you?
Westmarch is currently ruled by Justinian IV. Originally thought to be a callow youth, Justinian came into his own in the years following his ascension to the throne. Rumors still abound about demonic activities surrounding his coronation. But I believe those are simply the product of overactive imaginations, fueled by the ever-prevalent myths of the Zakarum.
Where is the Black Soulstone?
Malthael destroyed it and consumed Diablo's soul.
Then Malthael's death will have released Diablo. He is free. The Nephilim had done the impossible. By conquering death, he had redeemed the angels and saved all mankind. In that moment, with victory at hand, I saw the Nephilim in a new light. He is a hero who can defeat the champions of heaven and hell, and a barbarian who protects the innocent. But within him beats a mortal heart that will one day be tempted to corruption.
On that day, will he have the strength to resist? Or will he be our doom?